What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Variant Podcast. My name is Pedro, and as always, I'm here with Aidan. Aidan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Before we even start the show, make sure you follow us on social media at Variant Podcast. If you're watching the show live, you can always leave comments below, and we'll read them off the air with you. If you also want to share the video, go ahead. We like those shares for sure. Also, make sure to follow our podcast, obviously, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, whichever podcast platform you use. And if you love the show and you support the show, you can always go to patreon.com/invariant podcast to contribute to the show. So today's a very different episode. We're taking a break from our usual DC animated universe reviews. And
we're going back next week. This isn't the end, folks.
Yeah, of course not. We still got halfway through to go. We just finished our next movie we're watching next week is going to be Justice League Judas Contract.
Teen Titans.
Judas Contract. Yeah, I got the Judas Contract part right.
That's all that matters, really.
That's all that really matters. Judas Contract. Teen Titans Justice League. It's probably going to be the same thing.
Yeah. Tomato.
We'll see. But this week we're doing a different kind of episode. We're doing a review, but this time is of Detective Comics 1027, which is the 1000th. I can't say the word.
1000th Batman comic.
Detective comic in which Batman is featured in. Aidan got the regular cover. I've got the Jim Lee cover. But yeah,
I didn't see that one.
Dude, there's like 98 variant covers of this thing.
I saw like maybe 5.
Yeah, I
was like, the original one's better.
Yeah, I got 3 different ones. I got this one, and then I got the original one, the regular cover.
Yeah.
And then I got the 2 by Libramenjo, which is one of my favorite Batman artists. One of them is you probably saw this one at Docking Bay where you went. It has Nightwing and Batman, and then at the top there's like Batman and Robin from like the 60s.
Yeah.
I got that one. And then I got an exclusive variant cover from Torpedo Comics, which is just Batman, but in the Libramenjo style. And so that one still isn't out yet. So it's coming out soon, but I'm excited that I was able to cop that one. It's a 1 out of 1,500.
Ooh.
So there's only 1,500 of them out. So I'm excited I was able to grab that.
Special.
For sure. Yeah. So I grabbed this one, the Jim Lee one, to mess with, to read through. I'll feel really bad if one day this actually is worth more than any of the other ones, because I bought this one as my like reading one. So we'll see what happens. Because the store that I went to grab this one closer to my house didn't have the regular one. All they had was this one.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was weird. I'm like, you should probably have the regular cover, but I guess the regular cover is really. I saw the cover online. It looks really cool. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised why. No, I wouldn't be surprised it sold out. It's a really nice cover.
Which store did you get that from? Did you go to Tate's?
Yes, I went to Tate's for this one. Yeah,
I haven't been there in a while. That's a great place.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
sure. So yeah, Detective Comics 1027 came out last week. So by last week we mean September. I want to say 15th that it came out.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Week of the 15th.
Week of the 15th. There you go. Week of the 15th. But yeah, so Detective Comics 1027 is pretty much just a 144-page mega spectacular, the celebration of Batman's 1000th edition of Detective Comics.
Holy bat spectacular, Batman.
Right? As we know, he came out in Detective Comics 27 back in May of
1939.
I thought I was like 69, but I was like, that's not right. I'm good at math. I'm proud.
It makes me sad that you're the Batman fan and you don't even know what year he came out in.
I'm bad at numbers, and so that's a number to me, and therefore it's okay.
I know Joker was in 1940.
Yeah.
He was 40 or 41. Yeah.
He was 40. His first one was Batman #1.
Oh.
So he was in that one.
That was a good one.
Was it? Did you read it?
I read it a long time ago, but I've read it.
40?
Yeah. I read it in like 42 back when it was popular.
Okay, 42. Yeah. Time travel. That's right.
I inverted myself.
Oh, you inverted.
I'm gonna keep making Tenet jokes, so buckle in.
It's not. Let's not.
Gonna attack this podcast with Tenet references and a pincer movement.
Your dog doesn't agree with you, so I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. Your dog barked and said nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Detective Comics 1027, we're pretty much just gonna go down all the stories. There's like a handful of stories in this one. I'm bad at math. Aidan, did you count how many stories or no?
I did not. I believe there were 9 that I remember.
There's 13. Good try though.
13?
Yeah, good try.
Huh.
Yeah. 13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 13.
Huh. Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my book now, and it's only showing like.
Are you sure? No.
12.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12. Yeah, 13, 12. I'm bad at math again, guys. Give me a break. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump right in though. So the first story that we get from Detective Comics 1027 is called Blowback. It is written by Thomas Tomasi, penciled by David Walker, inked by Andrew Hennessy, color by Nathan Farbon, and letters by Rob Lee.
Dun dun dun.
Right. So in this story, you pretty much see Batman in a kind of like a Houdini type style
Trap.
I would say.
Contraption trap. Yeah.
And he is trying to figure out who did this to him because he doesn't know who exactly. Before we get there, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review of the comic.
Obviously.
If you plan on reading the comics and you haven't done it yet, that is your cue to stop listening.
Holy bat! Spoiler alert, Batman.
That's right. That is a spoiler alert button that we've created. And please stop now. But if you have read it and you want to just learn, not learn, but if you want to just hear our thoughts on it, go ahead and stay on. Or if you don't care about things being spoiled like me, and you want to read and want to listen on, go ahead. So yeah, the story is Batman gets stuck in this Houdini type trap. We're not sure what happens to him, but as the world's greatest detective, Batman is trying to figure out who did this to him. And so the entire short story is him thinking about who possibly could have done this to him. So, it shows photos of the Joker and all the stuff that he's already done to Batman and how Batman has escaped those.
Yeah.
He goes in to talk about Penguin, Two-Face, Deadshot, and Deathstroke.
And it was also kind of like a cool look back on the rogues gallery that's been built in these 1,000 issues of Batman.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was a good, I think it was a solid start. So pretty much Batman goes and figures out that it was a random person that did it. I didn't understand who exactly.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
I liked everything else about it. And I was like, oh, cool. It's like an homage to all the Batman villains before we get into more like Batman-esque stories, I would say.
Right.
And then it's just a nobody. And you're like, who is this guy?
Right, and that's, I think, to me was probably the worst part of the story, because it has such a great buildup of characters and how like these characters, how it could be who it could possibly be. I thought it was going to be someone else, and so it was like an exciting start to the story just to have kind of like the
ending.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? And I had to read it like over again to figure out like this is just a random nobody. And even Batman's like the end for this guy. Like we don't even know who
this guy
is. It was kind of flat. Like the conclusion didn't really connect with the actual story, which to me was probably why this wasn't the best of the 12 stories, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
there were worse.
There were some bad ones. This was not one of the bad ones, I would say.
It's enjoyable. It's a fun little. Did you spot I believe it was this one, the Dark Knight Returns reference?
No.
On the Joker page, there's the roller coaster, and not really a Dark Knight Returns costume.
The little guy.
Yeah, and then the balloon guy.
Yeah, the balloon guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I paid attention to this.
I didn't notice that. I did not notice that at all. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not really giving scores, but this probably wouldn't be.
This would probably be a 3
out of 5, right?
out of 5. Yeah.
Are we going out of 5 or out of 10?
I'd say out of 5. That's what we've done in the past.
I'd give this a 2.5.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't good. I mean, the art was great. The design of the characters was great. I'll take that back. It was a 3. The art was good.
Darn right.
The design of the characters was great. The story was good until the end. So, yeah, I'd give it a solid 3 out of 5. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Since we're in the business of giving out ratings out of 5, why not give it a 3 out of 5? That's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving right along, the next story in the 1000th edition is Spectacular.
It's the Masterclass. With Brian Michael Bendis as the writer, David Marquez as the artist, Alejandro Sanchez as the colors, and Joshua Reed doing letters.
Yes. And
this was probably my favorite one.
Was it?
It was my favorite. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay, well that's disappointing because I didn't like this one either.
Really?
Nah. To me, it didn't make a lot of sense.
Okay.
So the premise of the story is the entire Bat family is gathered into this rooftop. I want to say
there's a body.
Yeah, you loved it. So explain it the way you read it, because maybe I just read it differently than you.
So there's a body on a rooftop. And then I believe it's who finds it first? Is it Robin?
One of them finds it first.
I believe Robin, Damian Wayne, finds it first. And he starts doing his own detective work. But then slowly but surely, the entire Bat family comes together.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to figure out this case, right?
Damian Wayne comes in first, right after, like a couple seconds after him. Nightwing shows up. Then Batgirl shows up. And then Red Robin and Spoiler, who I have no idea who Spoiler is.
That's Stephanie Brown.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, the more you know. I didn't know that one. Yeah. So
that's the daughter of Sportsmaster, I think. I think that's his name. Sportsmaster or something.
Yes.
She was Robin at one point.
Yes.
And I believe she was Batgirl.
You're right. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. I just didn't know what should become afterwards, because you got Red Robin, who is Tim, right?
That's Tim. Yeah.
That's Tim. And Red Robin and Spoiler come on, and our boy Red Hood shows up.
That was cool.
Which was random because I thought Red Hood was a bad guy, but whatever. And then after Red Hood, Batman shows up, and they're just trying to do their detective work to figure out what happened to this body, who killed it, because it didn't look like it was built. It was put there. Red Hood believed that it was placed there on purpose to catch the Bat family, and Batman
test.
Batman didn't disagree, but he also didn't agree.
No.
So I thought that was interesting.
One thing I did kind of like is at first I thought it was kind of like a Gotham Knights tie-in comic book. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I liked that. That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. After that, they kind of do their detective work, and they figure out that it was Killer Croc that actually did it to protect his.
That was a weird twist.
Right, I'm saying to protect his girlfriend, or the girl that he's seeing right now, because the guy that he killed was her ex-husband,
who was like one of the dirtier cops of Gotham.
And so he died. And I don't know, I just didn't like this story because I don't think you needed to have all those characters in there.
Well, again, building on the first comic, or the first story, not the first comic, but the first story.
Yeah.
It was like kind of celebrating the progression of like the Rogues Gallery in these 1,000 comics of Batman. And then he also made sidekicks and partners, I guess. So this was kind of like this version of the villain celebration. This was like the celebration of the Bat family, I'd say.
Right. To me, I feel like all those characters kind of feel like the same. And so having them all in the comic was kind of like repetitive. You know, I don't think you needed a Tim Drake Red Robin with Nightwing and Red Hood in there. just thrown in there because.
I still thought it was cool seeing everybody together.
Well, I like the
At
idea.
least.
I like
Yeah.
the idea of having the entire family together, getting through a case together. That's a really good idea. I enjoy that idea.
Yeah.
But I think the execution wasn't the best. I do like the positive ending, though, how Batman tells everyone that they're all great detectives.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat because Batman doesn't really show a lot of emotion all the time. And so to have that there was good.
Yeah. And then the Killer Croc thing, kind of out of nowhere.
Right, exactly.
Kind of stupid.
That's what to me made
But it's Brian Michael Bendis, so there's going to be some stupid stuff in there.
Right. And so that's why I wasn't too big into the storyline. Again, these are all short stories, so there's not much you can go off of them. They're not based out of anything else. But just the fact of having made no sense to me having all those people there. It felt like there was a lot of people and too many people were talking at the same time, and you kind of didn't need all that sometimes to explain a comic. So sometimes there was so much talking in a panel that even though I was reading it, I kind of got not confused or lost.
It was kind of hard to track what was going on.
Yeah, it was hard to track. There you go. That's the word. Hard to track. It was a little hard to track once in a while. So to me,
and I did see that.
Yeah. So to me, that's why I'm giving this one a 1.5 out of 5.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Sorry.
That's low.
It is low.
I'd say maybe a 4.
Giving it a 4 out of 5.
I totally forgot there's another one I really liked. So this isn't my favorite. It's up there.
It's up there.
So it's a 4. Yeah.
Far. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. But the next one is probably one of a really good one that I enjoyed. It's called Many Happy Returns.
This was my favorite one.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's written by Matt Fraction. Art and color by Chip Darsky. I butchered your name, dude. I'm sorry if you listen to the show. And lettered by Aditya Bidkar. Also butchered that name. Bidkar. This story.
I'm sorry.
That's good. But this story is an interesting story. I enjoy this one because of the way that it was told. It's very mysterious to start off.
Yeah.
And it's Batman talking to himself about the Joker and all the times that he's seen him. And that every time in a certain time of the year, the Joker gives Batman a present, even though it's not his birthday.
Because he doesn't know when Batman's birthday
is. Which I thought was really interesting. And so every year when it was his quote unquote birthday, the Joker would give him this really bad gift that would be dangerous to people.
Yeah, if I were friends with the Joker, I wouldn't want him giving me anything for my birthday because
And so I mean,
he's got some whack presents.
How would you be friends with the Joker? That's problem number 1 now.
Yeah.
But as I'm talking, I'm flipping through the pages. So he just gives out sometimes it's a random gift. The first time he gives him like a police officer and a bomb, and the bomb explodes in the police officer.
Yeah.
Every time he just explodes another party factory.
Ties up the Teen Titans.
Yeah, he gives him a bomb, but other he gives him nothing.
I believe Crazy Quilt Man is here.
On year 4, month 1, I think that's him.
I liked that. I like obscure Batman characters.
Yeah, 1 year he gave him a what is that? Like an art drawing of them, which reminisces of the Dark Knight from Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Made me think of that. One of the years he gave him a birthday cake that reminds me of the Batman from
89. Yeah. Yeah, and even the suit looks like.
Yeah, the suit looks like it too. That's right. I didn't notice it. Yeah. So he gives him all these gifts. And 1 year, he doesn't give him anything. And so Batman's going crazy. Trying to figure out. Where's my present? Like, where's his present? And like he was asking for help from Superman to try to figure out where the gift was. And
evacuate the city, Jim.
He evacuates the city. And the funniest part is when he grabs him and is like, where is it? give me my birthday present. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. It looks like me during Christmas Eve trying to get out the gift card.
Give me my present.
Give me my presents. I think to me, the funniest thing about this entire short story, though, is how long Batman has been Batman.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, it was like year 22.
Yeah, the last one is year 22. And I'm just like, jeez. But did you notice the other thing about this too? That by year 22, the Joker knew who Batman was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was neat. Because then it's like, oh yeah, I already know who you are.
Yeah.
He said like, don't you get it, Brucey? Which I thought was really neat. But the present is that he is always going to be with him and forever, which I thought was interesting. So that's the gift that the Joker gives. The gift that keeps on giving is the Joker and Batman living forever together. They're always going to be one part of the same pod, the yin to someone, the other yang, which is basic Batman mythology.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a neat way that Matt Fraction wrote it. So
for sure,
I enjoyed it. It was kind of comedic at the end there with him screaming at him, asking for his birthday present. Yeah. Sure. Because I never thought Batman cared that much about birthdays. But now that I know he cares, I got you, Batman. Every Batman day, you got to leave out your milk and cookies for Batman to get it.
Yeah. Your bat cookies, your bat milk.
Don't forget your bat cookies and your bat milk every Batman day.
Which we
celebrated.
Yeah, we celebrated. But
we celebrated last Saturday, year 81 of Batman. I left out my bat cookies and my bat milk. I don't know about you, but then he left this for me.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So I was like,
that's cool.
Yeah, he left
Robert Pattinson showed up to your house.
Nah, I had COVID.
Robert Pattinson, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh no, I have COVID. I just heard there were cookies. Hey. I'm going to go win the Triwizard Tournament.
Breaking news, I was the one that gave him COVID. I saw him, I gave him a hug, and the next thing you know, he could not do the Batman anymore because he had COVID. And
do you know why he got COVID? Because he wasn't wearing a mask.
That's right.
Don't be like Robert Pattinson. Wear a mask.
Don't be like the Batman and wear a mask that covers your face and your mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I give this one. It wasn't my favorite, but it was really high up there. So I'd probably give this one a 4 out of 5.
I'd put it at a 4.2.
4.2. Yeah, that's a fair one. It wasn't a bad one. In the contrary, I think this was the first solid one that they had.
Yeah.
It was one of the first solid ones for sure. The next one I really enjoyed, even though it had nothing to do with Batman,
was Rookie.
The Rookie.
With Greg Rucka as the writer, Eduardo Rizzo doing art and colors, and Tom Napolitano doing letters.
Yeah, I like this one. It was a unique Batman story in the sense that Batman didn't really have a big appearance.
That's what I didn't like about it.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't care for this one.
Well, I liked it because this is, there's not a lot of there is zero dialogue in this one. Everything is being spoken to by this
narrator,
rookie cop. I enjoyed it because it gives Gotham a flavor. Because usually, always seeing Gotham, the superheroes and the supervillains, you never really see anything besides those two. Like you see Batman and a villain. You never see what actually happens to the regular Gothamites.
And someone should make a TV show about that. Specifically one that lasts like 5 seasons.
But that's not what I'm. But that's what I'm getting at, and that's why I enjoyed Gotham so much, because it was the story of Gotham before Batman.
Yeah. And
how these people came to be. So yeah, it was narrated by this woman that became a cop with GCPD, and I just enjoyed it.
Now this one, I didn't care for that much. Like it's fun seeing Gotham because there's more to it than just Batman and all the other villains. But at least for me, I've seen it done a lot. So just seeing it done again was like
Already
kind of a drag.
I've seen it done a lot though, besides the Gotham TV show.
Gotham, Joker's kind of dealt with that a little bit. What else?
Nothing else. That's
It was the Batman Arkham games.
That doesn't know. I mean, I'm talking about, you see, I mean, okay, that's fair. But to me, I see the inner workings of Gotham PD in a different way than you see in the Gotham TV show that was on Fox. Because, you know, we know that Gotham PD is a corrupt location, a corrupt place. But here you see it actually come to life. I really enjoyed this story. I'd probably give this one a 4 out of 5 as well, because it was, I know that you think it's not, but I think it was very original. You know, having the protagonist be someone who applied to be in the police academy, knowing that all these things happen in Gotham and still wanting to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool. So that's why I'd give this one a 4 out of 5.
I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5. The art was cool.
The art was cool. I did enjoy that art.
And another thing I didn't like about it was like, yeah, it's more in the city of Gotham. I feel like in a Batman like celebration comic, it's kind of weird to throw in a comic that Batman doesn't show up in until like the very end.
Up in it, and I think
I said at the very end, but like
right, but
Batman's not an active character.
Yeah, but Batman's more than just Batman. It's the whole mythology of Batman. So having him show Gotham City, Gotham Police Department, I think was really neat.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
That's fine. I mean, we don't have to agree on it, which is good. I'm glad we don't agree on it. It has to be a very boring show.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was cool. Aiden thought it sucked, which is good.
You know, I find it funny that all the ones I like, you don't like, and all the ones you don't like, I like. Like this next one, Ghost Story.
Oh yeah, this one's fun. It's written by James Tynion, the fourth, which is currently at the helm of the Batman series. He's doing
good for him.
Huh?
Good for him.
Yeah, he's in Joker War. If you haven't read Joker War, go read it. It's pretty great. Riley Rossamo is the artist. Colors by Ivan.
I
learned all these.
Palencia. That's what we'll go with.
Palencia.
I'm sorry, Ivan.
And lettered by World Design. I feel like that has to be not a real name.
Yeah.
World Design. I mean, forget everything. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because of that name. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so this one
was cool.
Was it though?
It was cool.
So what's the premise of it?
So basically, your least favorite character from Justice League Dark,
that's right,
is back.
Yeah,
Deadman is back. And he needs Batman's body to fight off a ghost-eating spirit.
So dumb.
But the art is super cool. It's cartoony. It's goofy.
The art is super cool, but here's a problem I have with this art. Batman's eyes look like he's a bug.
I love it.
It
reminds me of the Batman TV show. The Batman.
I mean, it kind of looks like the Batman.
Yeah.
But not really. My favorite part of the entire comic comes right here though. Where Deadman takes over Batman's body and he goes, "All right, Robin, try to keep up." And then Robin's like, "Where did you learn to do that? Are you kidding? I thought you knew about the circus. Have you heard of the Boston brand, the Deadman, the Daredevil willing to do anything?" He goes, "Oh yeah, how did that work out for you?" I was like, that's savage because he's dead. So good. But yeah, no. Besides that, I didn't like the story at all. Thought it was kind of corny, kind of cheesy. The art to me is way too campy. It is. I do like the whole background with Bruce and his mom talking about like what happens when I die, which was kind of neat in a way to see that.
Yeah.
But the Batman itself, the story to me, the story wasn't bad. I wouldn't say the story was bad. I think to me, it's just I didn't like the art as much as I thought I would like it. Because the first time reading it through, I was like, all right, I can dig this. But I liked how Tinian wrote Deadman.
Yeah.
He doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah.
He makes jokes. So I thought that was cool. I like the way he did that one. But
right.
I don't know. It wasn't my favorite of the 12 stories.
I really liked this one. I'd give it a 4.1.
4.1? Yeah, I'd give it a 2.3.
So negative.
2.3 for sure. However, it doesn't change.
Wait, did you just say 4? Because that's a convenient transition to the next story.
What is the next story?
4. That's my score, and that's the title of the story. Kelly Sue DeConnick is the writer. John Romita Jr. pencils. Klaus Janson is the inker for this story.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you.
It doesn't, so tell me.
He's famous for working with Frank Miller.
Oh, okay.
So he's done quite a few Daredevil comics that I've liked. I believe he did Dark Knight Returns.
Nice, okay.
So we've seen his work before.
Okay, cool.
Arif Prianto does colors, then ALW's Troy Piteri does the lettering.
You always get the easy names.
Yeah.
You get the easy ones. I get the difficult names. Like the next one coming up, I'm gonna let you do it too, because like that one's hard too. But let's talk about 4.
Really?
Yeah, dude, the last one.
That's easy.
Okay.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
This story is so good.
I love this one.
It was so good because it was Batman, but he wasn't Batman.
It was Bruce Wayne.
Right. So the story pretty much picks up in the middle of the night. It's raining. And Bruce Wayne is going to play golf with his, not buddy, but with this guy.
With an associate he's meeting up with, I guess, business stuff.
What's his name? I don't even know his name.
I don't think it's even mentioned.
Mr. Steele.
Oh, Steele. That's right.
Mr. Steele. And so he's playing golf with this guy. And the backstory is that Batman has been going through trying to figure out who this guy is, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And it's like back and forth showing scenes of Bruce playing golf with this guy and Batman breaking into this guy's warehouses trying to find him. And you just see, I don't know, I just enjoy this one. I like the drawing. I like the design of the Batman suit on this one as well.
Yeah. This one's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Mr. Steele comes up. He's trying to buy something from Wayne, and Bruce is like, "Hey, I'm not going to give it to you. Thanks." And so that's when Mr. Steele's like, "Oh, I have everybody in the city under my thumbs. The city council, the police department, everybody's in my pockets. No one can mess with me. I'm the greatest of all time." And all you hear is Bruce go, "You got all that, Jim?" And then they come and arrest him, which I thought was great. It was a different type of, again, it's a different type of Batman story, which is kind of like we've been talking about. This celebration of 1,000 editions of Detective Comics isn't always supposed to be all about Batman as the Cape Crusader. It's more about Batman and his entire crew. And so this one, which is rare, which we rarely ever see, is Bruce Wayne taking down a bad guy as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's weird.
We usually don't see that. We usually see him as Batman taking someone down. But in this one, you see Batman doing all the grunt work, getting everything fixed. Not fixed. Getting everything, getting all the clues, everything set up. So then you can have Bruce Wayne come in and talk to this Mr. Steel and try to close the deal, quote unquote, with Jim, and have him be the one that arrests this guy. So I thought that was neat because I think it also shows a way, to me, in a way, that Batman and Bruce Wayne can coexist. Because we know that usually that's not the case, right? It's either one or the other. But in this case, one complemented the other, and I thought that was a really nice way that the comic wrote this one.
Yeah, very interesting, very good. I like the ending where he throws the golf club and it like bends in weird ways and trips him up as he's trying to run away.
Yeah, I thought that was good too.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that, but I really like the drawings of the bat suit in this one.
Oh, me too.
I'm liking
really good.
I'm liking this whole style of having an underwear again. It's pretty cool. That's
bring it back and so there's a rumor that Pattinson's going to get a second bat suit, like a better one.
For sure, he's getting a second bat suit.
Bring back the bat underwear on the outside of the suit.
100% he's getting a better bat suit because we all know that this first suit is the one that he did himself,
and I like it.
I think he's going to get another one at the end of the film. Like he's going to show him with a new one, and then boom.
Or plot twist. He gets the Michael Keaton bat suit, and he's a young Michael Keaton Batman.
You're killing me with this, dude. You're killing me with this, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give this one a 3.8 out of 5.
Going with 4.
4, yeah, fair. It wasn't a bad one. It was a good one. I enjoyed this one.
Yep.
I enjoyed this one a lot more than the next one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is Aidan, because you're so easy to say his name.
Written by Marv Wolfman, Emanuela Lupacchino, pencils, Bill Sienkiewicz, inks, Jordi Belair, colors, and Carlos Mangual, letters.
Didn't like this one at all. Thought it was so lame.
It was lame.
Like, I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be a confession live on air and for our podcast listeners afterwards. I have never fell asleep reading a comic before. That happened in the Odyssey.
The Odyssey, more like Odyssey in my dreams.
No. It was no, dude. This was literally the Odyssey. Because back in high school, when I read the Odyssey, I fell asleep. And so this was perfect.
Maybe that's why they named it Odyssey.
Because they know it was boring.
Okay, Marv, we're giving you the most boring storyline. Come up with the title. Odyssey.
I remember that
Genius idea, Marv.
I fell asleep.
You're getting fired with everybody else at DC.
Hey, be cool, bro. Be cool. Be cool. So this one, I'll tell you what. I liked the beginning. I liked where it was going, and then just that's what it felt like.
It was like the last one. Like it was a Bruce Wayne doing kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just wasn't done as well as 4.
The coolest part of this entire story, though, we'll get to at the end, is how there was a podcast underwater.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to figure out how to do that. So we can do it.
Variant podcast live from
underwater
swimming pool in the backyard.
In the back. I think that to me was the most interesting part of this entire.
We are in the bat pool.
Or the bat pool, guys. Let's do
in the bat variant podcast lair.
That's right. The variant podcast.
In the bat backyard.
I enjoyed the beginning of the story.
Promising start.
Because I like historical stuff. And so I thought it was really interesting. Obviously, it's not real.
Like history. The history of the Waynes. That was cool.
And so having Bruce's great grandpa be the guy that creates the ship that kind of reminds me of the Titanic. I don't know if they did that on purpose. Probably did. And then this ship blows up with all this ancient artifacts. Man, I can speak great. Okay.
It's like priceless art.
There's like other stuff in there. And it explodes. And no one's heard of it for whatever long.
Since 1937.
And so this random dude that has a podcast was able to land an interview with Bruce Wayne, which that'd be like us landing an interview with
Elon Musk.
Zack Snyder.
We should make it happen.
Going to Snyder's house and sitting there like this dude right here with a mic in his hand and just.
So, Zach, your movies get a lot of comparisons to Watchmen. Have you actually seen Watchmen?
Wait, did you not like Watchmen?
No, I was making a joke. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched the movie yet.
I know what we're doing in a few weeks.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm watching the TV show right now, and it's really good. And so I bought the comic.
Are you watching the TV show first? It spoils the movie.
Well, I got to, again, as we talked about in the beginning of the show, I don't really care about things being spoiled. So I'm watching the show, and I think it's awesome, by the way. And I'm like, yo, this really is interesting. I want to read more about it. So I bought the comic, and I read most of it in a day.
Really? Was it good?
So good. And so Alan Moore writes the best stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the way they've treated him with adaptations of his work, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the comic. I haven't seen the Zack Snyder film, so I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah,
I know it's like forever ago. But it's one of the only Zack Snyder films that has positive reviews from both the critics and the audience in Rotten Tomatoes. So it can't be that bad. I do know it's 3 hours long, though.
The director's cut is like 4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta pace myself because
I believe there's the theatrical cut, director's cut, and the ultimate cut.
How many cuts?
I think there's like 3 different cuts of the movie.
Is this like the George Lucas cut of the Star Wars sequel? I literally listen. We're taking a turn here. I was on Facebook today, and I follow the Star Wars group page, which is the most toxic thing in the world. But then the guy today is like, he posts this clickbait article about how George Lucas has his George Lucas cut of the sequel trilogy. And how it's going to be released on Disney Plus as a Disney Plus exclusive for premiere access only in 2021. And I just
so there is a George Lucas cut. It's called the VHS releases. You fake Star Wars fan. I've seen them.
The George Lucas cut is called when he sold it to Disney, and Disney created something else out of it. That's the George Lucas cut. There is no such thing as a George Lucas cut.
It's called the VHS tapes.
You gatekeepers.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen the VHS ones too.
It's really weird. Like, especially watching Return of the Jedi and Hayden Christensen's not there.
Oh, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. Yeah. Listen, gatekeeper Star Wars fans, do me a favor and just stop. You're a bunch of mouth breathers.
Star Wars fans.
I'm not going to say they're not Star Wars fans. They are, but they're just toxic.
No, they're not real Star Wars fans.
Well, I can't say that because if
they're the type of people that think Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano are the same person. That's an actual thing.
Bro, so the same group I was in, this guy goes, I swear, I want to find it. It was so good. This guy goes all like, yeah, I don't know why you losers are complaining. We've seen Ahsoka Tano in the Star Wars movies. She's actually in a deleted scene in the Revenge of the Sith.
She wasn't created that.
No. That wasn't Ahsoka. That was Shakti. So I'm like, dude, not every Tortuga is Ahsoka. That is just racist, bro. Like, you think they all look the same? And then he replies, no, that was definitely Ahsoka. Yeah, he killed her. And I'm like, how do you know he killed her? If he killed her, how does she come back in Rebels?
Checkmate.
And he goes, Rebels isn't canon.
So I'm in the Mandalorian.
I'm just like, I'm done. I'm like, we're done. I'm not going to bother with you anymore.
Mandalorian's not canon.
Anyways, we got completely off topic.
But we're not even halfway through the book yet.
Yeah, we are. The Odyssey is a story about how Bruce Wayne's great grandfather brings a ship into Gotham City from England. Ship gets blown up, and these divers found the ship, and so Bruce Wayne was the one who funded up, because he funds everything, right? So Bruce Wayne funded the excavation of the ship, and he decides to invite the podcast kids with him. And so and the main podcast guy, we don't know this at the beginning, but the main podcast guy gets like taken out, and this thief takes over and tries to steal all the like art
treasure,
only to find out the art was already taken away. So there was there. And then Batman comes in, punches the guy in the face, calls it a day. That was the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Solid 2.3 from me, man.
That's a 2.
2. Yeah. You tell you what, though, this next story, 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5. For sure.
My favorite story of this entire book. I read it 4 times. So good.
Really?
This story is by Grant Morrison. Our Chris Burham is the artist. Nathan Fairbairn is the color, and Steve Wands does the letters. This story is called Detective 26, and it's literally the story is literally days before Batman becomes Batman in Detective Comics 27, which was phenomenal, dude. Wow. What a story.
This is how you show Gotham.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're not wrong. It was a very good one. I love the story. So the story is about this cop, right, that's trying to figure out how to stop crime in Gotham and how to do it, because everyone's becoming their own type of vigilante, and he's trying to figure out which one to become, because there's so many different vigilantes out there, and he's trying to figure out a name for himself, which is kind of interesting, I thought about. But did you see the gray ghost in there?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. A nod to Adam West for sure.
Yeah.
The gray ghost is in there. So this guy comes up with the name Silver Ghost. And the first case that he's going to take care of is the case of, where'd he go? Old Lambert, the chemical mogul Old Lambert. If you've read Detective Comics 27, that is who dies, and how the young Lambert is the one left and is trying to ask the cops how to figure out a way to save his dad. And so the Silver Ghost not the gray ghost, the Silver Ghost. Yeah. The Silver Ghost finds where the bad guys are in this chemical plant. But right before he comes in, who shows up? None other than the original Batman, which this drawing of Batman is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the way that they brought back, I love this rendition of Batman in his very first suit from Detective Comics 27.
Yeah. Purple gloves and all.
Everything. Purple gloves.
If Robert Pattinson doesn't have purple gloves at some point, I will walk out.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good. To me, the cool part is I read this afterwards I read it side by side with Detective Comics 27, and some of these panels are literally from Detective Comics 27.
Really?
So, yeah, with Batman breaking the glass with the toolbar or toolkit or whatever. That's him breaking in Detective Comics 27. It's there. Him battling the guys is part of Detective Comics 27. And him kicking the guy into the acid and saying a fitting end for his kind. That's literally taken word for word from Detective Comics 27.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a fantastic tie-in to bring in Batman. And so you have the gray ghost guy contemplating life, like what's the meaning of life? What's the point? I guess that answered my question. I'm going to hang up my cape, which you never even started. And at the end of the panel, you see him closing his windows to the bat signal.
Yeah.
That's showing the new era of Batman. And that's how everything started. Obviously, that's Morrison's interpretation of how it started, but it's still really, really cool.
I'd say this is canon.
Yeah, let's
I
shoot
like
for
this.
it. Why not? It was canon to me. It was awesome.
Variant podcast canon.
Yeah,
5 out of 5.
6 out of 5. This is
6 out of
100%.
5. Can we do that?
5. I can do whatever I want.
You're only giving it a 6.
Out of 5, yeah. Well, I mean, that's like a lot compared to what.
Only a 6.
This is the best.
This is easily an 8 out of 5.
Yeah, this is the best comic.
Like, I like this part where it's like, I expected I'd soon attract my very own gallery of fiends, monsters with names like Split Face, Gum Face, Giant Lizard Face, and Doctor Face.
Yeah, I really enjoyed how Morrison created this other world. Not really another world, but it was
another world. Another world of vigilantes and Gotham.
Yeah, kind of like introducing him, and it shows all the vigilantes that existed at that time.
They all look the same, with like different colors, which I like.
And I think it's also a shot at like the vigilantes of old, which they all look the same, and probably like a little shot at Bob Kane because that's what he wanted Batman to look like.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I would read like a comic series on those other guys.
I wouldn't, but I would read this comic.
No,
book. Listen, I'm gonna
come on, Grant. Come back.
What?
Come back, Grant. Make this a thing.
I'm gonna make this story. I'm gonna rip off this story from this book and put it before Detective Comics 27, as if like
I'm gonna tattoo it. The entire thing on my chest.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm like, read this before reading Detective Comics 27, and you're gonna have a great time.
Maybe I'll pull a Ben Affleck and just get this entire thing tattooed on my back.
Sure you would. Anyways, next story.
This one was okay.
Legacy, written by Tom King, Walter
Simonson
as the artist, Laura Martin as the colorist, and John Workman in letters.
For Denny.
Oh, well, probably his friend or something. I liked how this story has, how do I say this? I like how it tackles emotional topics.
Yeah.
I like how it talks about cancer. I like how it talks about death. I like how it talks about losing loved ones and having heavy time. And has heavy themes. I don't think it was as impactful as it could have been, though, because this fight between Batman and Dr. Phosphorus was kind of lame.
It was. This is probably lower on the list for me. I didn't care for this one.
I think to me my favorite parts of this comic was the panels of old Selina and old Bruce when he's dying of cancer. And you don't hear anything. There's no words, which again goes back to what I was saying about Masterclass. Sometimes you don't need words to express a panel. Yeah. And so you didn't see words by either Selina or Bruce, but you could see how devastating it was to lose Bruce to cancer. And so I thought that was a very good, a very good one. And now that I'm thinking of it, could For Denny be Denny O'Neil?
Could be.
Yeah, didn't think about it through. Could be. But yeah, it just came on. It had the talks of death, grief, and all these other things that most people in the comic world try to avoid. Mm-hmm. And King took your head on. And I thought it was cool. So because of that, I'm not going to give this a low score. I'm going to give this like a 3.2 because it's good in that way.
That doesn't like what's the word?
I think he
doesn't numb down the seriousness.
Right. And he went for it. He could have easily not gone for it, but he went for it.
I can respect that.
Right. And that's why to me, he tried. Like, that old saying, at least he tried. Like, that's how I feel. Like, at least he tried. And it was good. A good try. It just wasn't my favorite of the series for sure.
I'd probably give it a 2.
2.5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
It wasn't good. I'm giving it that score because I'm respecting the themes that he's trying to bring out, which was good. But this next one is by our favorite ever, my favorite. And about you, as always, written by Scott Snyder, penciled by Ivan Reyes, inked by Joe Prado, colored by Marcelo Milano. Malo, sorry. And then letters by Tom Napolitano again.
Hey.
I love Zach. No, Zach. I love
Wrong Snyder.
I know. I love Scott Snyder. I love his tenure in the Batman comics. Back in with the Court of Owls. I'm not into his whole Batman death metal thing or the Batman Who Laughs. I'm not really a big fan of that one. I know a lot of people are. I'm just not. I like the idea. I respect the idea of an evil Batman poisoned by Joker Venom. I'm just not a fan. But I love Scott Snyder as a writer, and I love the way he writes Batman. And I love how he writes this story, not even from the point of view of Batman.
It's from Gordon's perspective.
Yeah, and from what I could understand, I'm going to flip through it. From what I gathered, this is all in Gotham, in Gordon's point of view. Yeah, it's just Gordon talking, which I thought was neat.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was cool.
It's a story told by Jim Gordon's point of view and how he works with Batman to solve a case, but then the case becomes larger than life. It becomes more than just Gotham.
The sun goes away. Right.
And so I thought that was kind of corny at the end, but we'll get there in a second. But so the sun's about to go away, apparently, and so Batman is called to the Justice League Tower. And so we find out in this one, not sure if it's canon or not, we find out that Jim and Brucey have a little phone. They text each other and talk to each other. I thought that was kind of
I thought that was always a thing.
I don't know. I just thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, I have a phone we talk to. Then I forgot about it. I'm like, all right. And so when Batman goes to space, Jim kind of feels he's kind of out of place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, meh.
Kind of helpless without hope.
Yes. And the sun is gone, and the Justice League fights every single supervillain to figure out how to fix it. Batman figures out a way to fix it. Comes back to Gotham, comes back to Jim, and his solution was the bat signal.
So I liked that ending a lot.
I mean, it's a short story. There's not much to hate or like, but I thought it was interesting. What'd you think?
Because, like, with the bat signal in the end, the way I looked at it, I perceived it. The sun coming up, like, every day is, like, kind of a sign of hope or whatever.
Yeah.
That, like, you've made it to the next day and you're...
Yeah, he mentioned that, yeah.
You're fine. And they're like, what are you going to do without the sun?
Mm-hmm.
And then he shines the bat signal. It's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I liked.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I enjoy the way that Snyder writes Batman. And I'll tell you what, dude, I absolutely loved the way that Reyes drew Batman.
Yeah, I like
Batman with a beard was awesome.
Bring back beard Batman.
Yo, bearded Batman with a goatee, whatever this was awesome. And I'm not just saying that as a person who has a beard. I just thought it was super neat. I know why he doesn't have a beard, because it's going to be kind of obvious who he is. But it was neat. I liked seeing him with a beard. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool way to draw him.
Yeah.
So, I would give this one a 4.5 out of 10. Out of 5, sorry. Okay.
I'd probably give it a 4.
Yeah, super good one.
Really good.
Yeah, and now we're just getting to the final two, which I personally did not enjoy because these last two are just kind of prequel
advertisements.
Yeah, the first one's an advertisement, and then the other one is just like an add-on story. So we're just gonna get through them and see what you think. The next one's called Generations Fractured. Written by, do you have that on hand?
I can pull it up.
I got it. By Jen Jurgens, who's the writer and the artist. Kevin
Nolan.
Finish art.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi
Colors.
And World Design back at it again.
Doing the letters. And Brian Cunningham is the editor. So the interesting part about Generations Fractured is that this was supposed to be the whole 5G movement that DC was moving in towards.
Yeah.
And they're still going to do it, apparently, as Generations Fractured 1, whatever. But it's not going to be to the level that they thought it was going to be. Because the DC universe was once again in in 20 years reboot itself once more.
Yeah.
And everything was going to become new again because apparently the intellectual minds of the world can't fathom that Batman is only 30 or 40 and he's over 80 years old, as if comic books need to make sense.
Right.
Which I never understood. So
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, so this story, pretty much from what I gathered, I read it once, got bored out of it. But it's Batman trying to figure out. He's trying to stop someone from destroying this
Stop
museum.
Calendar Man.
Right, but he didn't know it was Calendar Man.
No.
And he finds out Calendar Man is behind these attacks to destroy this museum sort of thing, right? Let me go back to it. Yeah, trying to stop Calendar Man from this museum. Calendar Man goes into a special section about the Wayne family gallery, which Batman doesn't want to go into. You see Calendar Man in there, and he's trying to burn down the building. But as he's burning down this building, there's a huge light, shining light, bright light that Batman gets hit with. And he goes, well, I can't feel my face. Feels like everything is coming apart, fracturing and replicating. Wait, it's over. And as soon as it says it's over, it goes from super cool Batman from 2020 to Batman from Detective Comics 27 again, which I thought was not as well done as the one by Morrison.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that it was like, it looked like a Batman from 1939, like the art.
No, yeah, I like cool. That. I just don't think he was as well done.
Yeah, I can see that.
This was more campy, which I can tell the difference. I know the difference. I know that's why they did it. They were going for that. It was just a little campy to me, which is fine. And in this one, you see the time in the Thomas Wayne and the Martha when they donated to the gallery was 1915 instead of the original 1985. That in the book here it says. And in this world, after the Generations was fractured, Batman has only been Batman for a week, according to this random guy that I have no idea who he is unless you caught his name.
There wasn't really a name given out, but I believe he almost name dropped Booster Gold. No, Booster Gold's involved with this.
No, his name is sorry guys, I'm reading as I'm talking. I'm trying to get the right name.
Kamano. Something like that.
Yeah, Kamano. Booster. There you go. Yeah, the guy's name is Booster. Kamano is the guy that came in that looks like Aquaman with like a Avengers Tony Stark looking glove. And he's trying to, and Kamano is Booster is trying to get this Batman to go into another place or a year because he needs to get the team back together. Not exactly sure what team we're talking about here because at the end of this comic, it says continued in Generations Future State number 1, which is due out later this year in comic book stores.
Yeah, I did not like that it was just a setup for
it was
another series. It felt super forced as like an ad. Like I was invested in the story. Like I was excited to see where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Because it's 2020 Batman and now it's like 1939 Batman.
Right.
What are they going to do with that?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You have to buy another comic book. And I don't.
Yeah, I didn't hate that because I knew some of them were going to have some of those. For example, the Joker 80th anniversary comic, the 100-page spectacular that he had. They had a story in there about Punchline and how she became Punchline before they released the Batman comic Punchline. So some of these have to go out there for sure. But
well, I mean, the reason I didn't like it is because I'm not an active like comic book reader.
Right.
I don't go out and buy comic books, so like the fact that I have to like go out and buy comic books, which I don't normally do, except for this one, kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Well, I can see that.
I would consider reading it though, because
it looks interesting enough for me to read. I'm just glad this isn't going to be the entire DC Universe reboot again, because that would have been really
maybe it is.
So I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5.
Probably 1 out of 5.
Because it didn't give me anything. It didn't really give me a plot, a storyline, or anything to go off of. It just gave that. And to me, that wasn't enough. But I'm excited. I love reading comics.
Yeah.
As you know. So this is probably going to be one of the ones I'm going to go read. And I'm probably going to put this on my pull list because it looks interesting. So I guess this is just a prequel. Or the prologue, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it anymore.
Yeah.
But the next one I really enjoyed. Yep. The next one I really enjoyed. The next one's called The Gift, written by
Mariko Tamaki.
Dan
Mora does the art. Tamara Bonvillain does the coloring. And Tom Napolitano.
Back at it again with the letters, bro. So this one I liked simply because I'm reading Joker War and I liked having this tie-in.
Yeah.
I know that you probably haven't read it, but to me it's interesting. And so having this was a good little thing.
Yeah, I haven't read Joker War. I didn't know it was connected to Joker War until the end. So like there was stuff going on where I was like, what does this mean? Why is this here? Why is Lucius Fox wearing a face mask?
Because coronavirus.
Oh, that's a thing now in DC?
No, but I'm just assuming that's why. Here's the thing. I don't want to.
If it's connected to Joker War.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to tell you this.
But tell me. I'm probably not gonna read Joker War. But...
Alfred is dead.
Oh.
And Lucius Fox is dead. In Joker War.
No.
They're both dead. And so this is day 3 of Joker War. So your face of sadness is just so good. Like you're literally crying over Alfred's death. Trust me, you're not the only one that cried over Alfred.
That concludes this episode of Variant Podcast.
A brief synopsis of Joker War. Joker takes over Bruce Wayne's family wealth.
Yeah.
Joker finds out who Bruce Wayne is. And now there's a battle between Bruce Wayne and Joker. And Joker, Batman.
Sounds a lot like Daredevil Born Again.
Does it?
But
so I thought it was neat. I'm enjoying the series right now. I'm enjoying Joker War right now. Some people don't like it. I'm not one of those. I actually enjoying Joker War. I'm enjoying the different take, I guess, because you don't really I've never seen something like this before. And this was built up through a lot of comics. Alfred didn't die in Joker War. Alfred died in City of Bane, which was the one before this, which was also a long storyline. And so I enjoy Joker War.
Yeah.
So having this one, they said 3 days into Joker War is great because in the first comic of Joker War, Bruce is poisoned by Punchline at the end of it, and he's going insane until I can't tell you who I can until Harley Quinn comes and saves him.
Oh,
yeah, and there's like this epic showdown between Harley Quinn and Punchline, which is awesome. And
I might need to read Joker War now.
Joker War is great. I'm
debating going back to Docking Bay.
Get all Joker War. It's pretty good. I'm highly enjoying it. But so this is day 3. It's actually Bruce Wayne's birthday, and so he's going around the city. This one, unlike the Joker one, this one is actually his birthday, and so he's going around the city trying to figure out a way to, get something. I didn't understand exactly where he's going. I guess he's going to.
It wasn't clear. And that's one thing I didn't like about it.
Yeah, I think from flipping through the pages again, because guys, as I'm talking, I'm looking through these pages. Flipping through the pages again, it looks as if Batman, it looks as if Lucius Fox in the face mask tells Bruce Wayne, Batman, that there's something urgent going on in Wayne Enterprises, and so Batman goes into Wayne Enterprises to check out what's going on, and he sees this Joker toxin venom thing, and that goes, that's new, and then he's still stuck in there. And he's stuck in there, and the police comes up to go check out what's going on. They see Batman. Batman freaks out and leaves, but as he leaves, Joker's poison blows up the building, in which one of the officers gets his face exploded on, I guess. And that's when his name is Bart. Officer Bart gets his face blown up. And the officers are now, hey, we got to go get the bad guy. The bad guy is Batman. And that's when in Joker War, I think in the first comic, in the first page of Joker War, is where we start with Batman being the bad guy. Because people now, Batman's a bad guy. So, and this is also going to introduce, there's also another prelogue type of story, because it's the Black Book, the Black Case book is the next series in Detective Comics.
Okay.
So the Detective Comics 1028 is going to begin the Black Case book. So this was kind of a setup for both of those. Well, it's not really a setup for Joker War. It's just more of a explanation of Batman's birthday, I guess.
Yeah.
And introducing the next series in the Detective Comics world.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's just me, because again, I don't read comic books, so like on this one, take my opinion with a grain of salt. It's because I don't read comic books often. Like getting just a setup for another comic book series, I'm not going to read.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
It was good. Kind of confusing because again, I don't read comic books. I have no idea what's going on with Joker War. So it was just meh.
Yeah.
Art was cool. I liked the art.
The art was good. Cool. I enjoyed this one. I'd probably give this one a 3.5 out of 5. I just liked the whole, again, mythology stuff, like Batman having a birthday and him actually being vulnerable and talking about back when he was a child and having a birthday. So I thought that was neat.
Yeah. I'd give this one probably a 2. Not because it's bad, but for reasons I've mentioned.
That's fair. Yeah. But yeah, no, overall, Detective Comics 1027, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great compilation of the Dark Knight and his allies and Gotham City and the JCPD and all the stuff that makes Batman who Batman is. Highly enjoyed it. For $10, you get.
I would have paid $20 for this. I definitely got my money's worth.
Exactly. For $10 for 111 pages or 114 pages of comics.
144 pages.
144 pages of comics. You get a lot out of it. You get a lot
and not only, like, we haven't talked about this, but not only the stories, but you get different art of Batman.
Well, yeah.
From different artists.
Different stories.
Which is really cool.
Yeah,
like, there's one before the Generations Fractured where it's like, kind of looks like Batman 66.
Right.
With him and Robin, and like they look campy and old, like in costumes, but they also look like really cool.
Yeah, very. That was by Leah Bermejo.
Oh yeah.
That's the style of Batman that I like. That's not from Batman 66. That's from the Batman TV movie that came out.
Yeah, Batman 66.
Oh, is that what it is?
Batman 1966. Adam West.
No.
What?
This one?
Yes.
That's from the Batman movie from back in the 40s.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the old.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the.
Yeah, no, that's from the old, the movie that was a movie.
Yeah.
Episodes or whatever it was back in the old days.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, that was cool.
Probably one of my favorite Batman artists right now, for sure. But yeah, you bang for your buck. for $10. Well worth it. If you're a fan of Batman, this is definitely a comic book to add to your collection. Even if you don't collect comics like Aiden over here, it's a very good one to have, like even as a table topper, to be completely honest with you. Leave it at your table, read some of these once in a while. I know for a fact I'm going to be reading Detective Comics 20. I'm going to be reading Detective 26 a couple more times. It's so good. Very enjoyed. If you enjoy reading all these different takes on Batman and Gotham, if you really enjoy anthology books of Batman, this one is for you. Overall, I'd give this book a 4.7 out of 5.
I'm at a 4.5.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Very good book. Very exciting. This is probably the best one. This is better than Detective Comics 1000.
Yeah.
I read Detective Comics 1000. Didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed this one.
Yeah. It was
very good.
Very good.
Very good. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, it's been about that time. It's time to say farewell to another episode of Variant Podcast. Aiden, thank you so much for once again being on the show and talking all things comics, in this case, Batman.
Again, if you I love being here.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome, dude. If you guys love the show, want to support the show, you can head on to our Patreon account at patreon.com/Variant Podcast, or head over to the anchor.fm app, anchor.fm/Variant Podcast, and you can contribute to the podcast. That way, make sure to hit the subscribe button on any podcast platform that you listen to, and follow us on social media, because that's what we're here for.
And if you contribute on Anchor FM, I will give you a personalized shout out. I will write a song for you on my ukulele and my kazoo.
Song by a Variant Aiden is what I need in my life.
Yeah.
One person, go out there, give us $2. Aiden's gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
You'll get a song. You'll get a kazoo solo. I don't know. Guys, what else is going to happen?
I don't know. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed the rest of your day or wherever you're listening. And until next time, I'm Aiden.
And I'm Pedro.
And we'll see you next time.